What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. I hope everybody is doing well today. Um, I'm gonna get straight to the point, straight to the video. No long intro. If you're new here, welcome. I talk about real life situations, real life experiences that I've been through in the past, the present, within the last couple of years. I'm here to talk about it. And today, this topic came up to my head last night. I want to talk about how social anxiety, struggling with social anxiety, kept me broke. Okay. I struggled with social anxiety in my earlier 20s and in my child years. I'm in my early 30s now. I'm actually doing better. I still struggle with social anxiety here and there, but it's not as bad as it once was. So I just want to say I don't live with any regrets, but I do feel like struggling with social anxiety has pulled me back. It kept me from being successful or reaching my highest level of potential. I'm not saying I'm not grateful for where am today, but I feel like I could have been gotten accomplished more if I had gotten that social anxiety treated earlier on, maybe at like 17, 18 years old. So if you're new here, go watch my previous videos. I talk about my struggles with social anxiety, how it destroyed my earlier years, and how I wish my parents would have did something about it. You know, at this point, if we're struggling with a mental illness, we have to just take it upon ourselves to get the healing and get better on our own. Like, we cannot sit around and just let this stuff destroy our lives. Social anxiety destroyed my earlier 20s, but I'm in a better place in my life. I've got the healing. I went to therapy. I did the affirmations. I did everything I had to do to really, really get better. But I want to talk about how it kept me broke. It really kept me broke. It really kept me from reaching my fullest potential. It really kept me from getting those opportunities at jobs, promotions and becoming a supervisor or becoming a manager. How it just kept me back. Because one thing with social anxiety, if you don't know what it is, I'm sure most people know what it is. It's kind of just like you shut down in public. You cannot express yourself. You're afraid to be around people. You socially withdraw. You don't like to be in crowds. You don't like to be in groups. You don't want to be around people. You don't know how to have a conversation with somebody. You get very anxious. And that's what I was struggling with. And it was very difficult for me working in my early 20s. I've worked at, little part-time jobs like Jewel Osco and Whole Foods Market and little jobs like that. And it was very difficult for me working jobs with social anxiety because, when you're working, you have to greet customers. You have to ask customers if they need anything. And I could not do that. I could not walk up to a customer and talk to them. I cannot ask a customer, do they need help with anything? I just couldn't do it. It was just holding me back. And one thing with social anxiety, when people don't understand what you're going through, a lot of people will judge you. So most of the time, I was just being judged. Oh, she don't care about anything. She's too socially awkward. She don't like to talk. We're not going to promote her. She don't really talk to nobody. I have missed out on opportunities because of it, because managers and supervisors, they think that I'm just not interested. Because that's what social anxiety is, lack of interest. You really deep down, you're interested. You want to have a conversation. You want to be engaged with customers. You want to go to those meetings. But that demon is holding you back. And that's what was happening with me. I was being held back, pulled back. So I've lost opportunities. I could have been a corporate manager at a company, big top dog at a at a company, because I know my ambition. I work hard. I'm reliable, but my social anxiety was not. It wasn't allowing me to do these things. I could not walk into a meeting. I could not be in a group. I'm finding ways to avoid conversations. So how can I be promoted to be a manager if I don't even like to have conversations? So it was keeping me stagnant. It was keeping me at the bottom. I could never elevate and grow with a company because my peers and my colleagues, to them, they don't know what I'm struggling with. So I'm not getting that promotion. They're going to give it to somebody else who probably ain't been there that long. So I'm always stuck at the bottom. I'm always working a part-time job. I can't even get promoted to full-time because they think I don't want to work, or they think that I don't want to be there. And when really it wasn't that. My social anxiety was kicking my ass. And it was bad, so I found myself still making this certain amount of money as I'm getting older. I'm still making this amount of money. I'm this age and I'm only making $16 an hour. I'm this age, I'm only making $17 an hour. When I should be up there making some bank by elevating and growing. But one thing with social anxiety, if you don't get the proper healing, if you don't get it done, or get the help, or even recognize that you have it, it's going to destroy you. You will never amount to anything if you let that social phobia get to you. And it kept me broke. It kept me broke my whole 20s. I was just broke because I couldn't elevate. I'm at this job. I go from this job to this job. I'm still making the same amount of money when I go to this job. I'm still working 12 hours a week. I'm still working 15 hours a week. I go get another job. I'm still at the bottom. I'm not greeting customers. I'm getting pulled into the office for my annual, where the job gives you a review of your work. And I'm being told that I need to greet customers more. And it used to make me so emotional and upset. Because that's one thing with my social anxiety. It was making me emotional. It was making me upset. I feel like people were picking on me. Because they didn't know what I was going through. So I was just broke. And then I reached a point like I'm tired of being broke. I'm tired of fighting this demon. Let me go and get some help. Let me go get therapy. Let me go do something. And I want to say in my late 20s, that's when I really got the help. I want to say 26, 25. I don't remember. I got tired of it. And when I got the help, I got the therapy. Once I did that, I saw a big change in my life. I saw a really big change in my life. I was more social. I was looking forward to meetings at jobs. I was more outgoing. But as I mentioned, I do still struggle with social anxiety sometimes. I do. Maybe I can talk about that too more. Maybe talk about a time where I experienced it. But it's not as bad as before. Like, I can actually go to a grocery store. I can go out to a public place. I don't shut down too much. But sometimes I don't really maybe I just don't feel like talking to nobody. I don't know. Maybe I just don't want to talk to your ass. I don't know. But I do feel like I still struggle with it here and there. But I'm glad that I went and got that help, because once I had got that help, I started receiving more opportunities, better paying jobs, and it was the best thing I ever did. The only thing I wish I should have got help sooner. I should have got it done sooner. But I got tired of being broke. Just broke all the time. No money. And I was struggling with substance abuse. I was struggling with weed, because that was another thing that was contributing to my alcohol use. It was the social anxiety, because one thing about that, it causes stress. The social anxiety causes stress. So you're going to want to go drink and go get high and go smoke you some weed and go smoke you some tobacco. So that's why I was struggling too. So it was all like connected. I'm drinking, I'm smoking too much, but because I'm stressed out, because I'm socially awkward, I can't make friends, I don't know how to have a conversation. I'm always freaking nervous. Every time I go into a group setting, I don't want to be there. It was a lot on my mental, and I couldn't handle it no more. And I got tired of being broke. Why am I still broke? It's because my mental wasn't there. So, no more. No more broke, social anxiety, none of that. I'm past that. If you guys are struggling with that, social anxiety, go get help. If you don't have insurance to cover any type of therapy, there are videos on YouTube that you can watch. Do some affirmations. I talked about it in my other video. The affirmations really help me. It might feel a little weird, but if you really want to change and be better, do it. Because other than that, you're going to be broke. And you're going to come up with excuses. You're wondering why you can't keep a job. You're not elevating. You're not getting promotions because you're letting this demon take over your life. I got tired of it. I don't want to struggle with social anxiety no more. I want to be a social person. I want to be able to walk up to somebody and have a conversation. I want somebody to be able to walk up to me and be more approachable, and people could come talk to me. Because at the end of the day, I do believe I'm a likable person. It's just my social anxiety I was coming off as standoffish. That's what it was making me, very standoffish and stuck up. People would think that I'm stuck up. I am not stuck up. I'm just fighting a demon right now. I don't want to talk. I don't know how to have a conversation with you. And this is something that you just can't say. Even like in job interviews. I couldn't even hold a job interview the right way. I went through millions of job interviews. I finally got it down packed. But even the job interviews, I was shut down. They asked me a question. I'm like, I don't know. Easy questions that could be answered, right? So I can honestly say I'm doing better mentally. I always have room to grow. I'm always going to keep growing. I'm always going to try to be better. I'm always going to, if I'm feeling anxious, I go right to my affirmations and I do my affirmations because it still affects me sometimes, but not like before. So that's all I wanted to talk about. My goal here is to be monetized. So if you like videos like this, please like the video, comment, subscribe to my channel. I talk about real life situations, things that I've been through, things that I know somebody out there can relate to, and how I cope and how I heal from it. I'm here to help, but I do want to be monetized as well. So thank you for watching and stay tuned for more videos.